Are you a first-time home buyer in Georgia, Florida, or Alabama and wondering about the steps to buy a home or even looking for tips for first-time home buyers? If so, in this video, you're going to deepen your understanding about how to buy a house, especially new construction homes, and the process of buying a new build house for sale so that you can feel confident going step by step when buying a house as a first-time home buyer. When you're just getting started, the home buying process can seem complicated, frustrating, overwhelming, or even stressful, but it doesn't have to be. From when to get pre-approved to understanding builder incentives and even financing, and what happens in between closing on your new construction home, I've got you covered. At New Construction House Hunters and as a new construction queen, I specialize in helping buyers, especially first-time home buyers, navigate the new home market and purchase newly built homes for sale with poise and ease. So, if you want expert guidance on finding the best home, best builder deals, choosing the right community, and making a smart financial decision, I want to encourage you to watch this entire video. And by the end, if you're ready to take that first step, I'd love to help. For now, let's jump on in. When the thought to buy a home first enters your mind, there's going to be a range of questions. What is the full process? What does it take? What should I do first? What should I do second? And that's why one of the first pages in our home buying guide actually walks buyers step by step through the entire process. We encourage our buyers to actually tear that page out the book, put it on their fridge, put it in their office, and literally check off these items. So everything I'm getting ready to explain to you over the next few moments, literally the steps that we take with our buyers at New Construction House Hunters. All right? So we believe that the first step when you're buying a home, especially as a first-time home buyer, is to find your buyer's agent to guide you through the home buying process. Now, if you are serious about buying a new construction home, you want to make sure you choose somebody who is an expert and all they do is new construction. The process of buying a new construction home and a used home is different. That's why it's going to be super important who you choose to guide you through the home buying process. After choosing your agent, that is when we encourage our buyers to tour new homes and be able to select at least 3 to be able to compare what's going to be best for you. Now, before we start touring homes, we do things a little bit differently. We always make sure that we have a thorough understanding of your income, your credit, your savings, the incentives, how much home you can actually qualify for, your debt to income ratio, and everything in between. So that the first time you go tour in a community, you are confident. You know that if you like it, you get qualified for it, and it gives you confidence that you're not out looking just because, or you're looking at a home that's out of reach. We encourage our buyers to select at least 3 homes to compare to know really what's best for them. We also believe that when you know, you know. Sometimes you could see 1 home and you're done looking. Sometimes it takes 10 homes to really be able to assess what's going to be best for you now, 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years in the future. Step number 2 can be as quick or as long as it takes. And what I love about step number 2 is that it really is a chance for us to learn you. What do you like? What do you dislike? What are your deal breakers? What's actually important to you and how that may change over time? Sometimes buyers will call us and say, hey, we're looking for this. We go see that. They're like, I don't want this. I actually want this. Or vice versa. I didn't know that having a closet outside the bedroom is actually important to me. Or I actually want to be able to buy a home that I can rent the rooms out. And all of those things are things that we take in doing this process with you. And it gets to be super, super exciting. Once you begin to understand and narrow down where you want to live, that is when we begin to apply and speak to the preferred lender to discuss financing your home. When you buy new construction, now you do not have to talk to the preferred lender, but that is where you generally get the best incentives, right? Better interest rates. You save money on your out-of-pocket expenses. You get a garage door opener, blinds, fridge, literally everything. We like to encourage our buyers to get qualified by us, right? We know a lot, we know what questions to ask. And then once you've narrowed down where you want to live, we want you to talk to those lenders and those lenders only. These first 2 and 3 steps are different than buying a resale home. And that's why it's so key to working with someone who's an expert in new construction. Allow me to explain why. If you were to get a pre-approval from wherever, Rocket Mortgage or even the bank, the interest rates are different. The amount that you'll be qualified for is going to be different. And because and if you go with an outside lender, that's going to dictate your out-of-pocket expenses. Things really begin to change if you don't use the preferred lender. Now, we don't force you to, but we absolutely want you to know the pros and the cons of going with the preferred lender or not. But it's a reason why we do it in this way, because the first time you do a hard pull, we want that hard pull to be meaningful. We don't want to waste a hard pull. A lot of buyers will come to us and say, oh, we're pre-approved, but we didn't mean to. You know, the agent told us to do it this way. That's not how we do things, okay? Even if you were to go to an on-site agent by yourself, they're going to encourage you to talk to the lender. That is their job. But our job and their job is different. So we don't want you to waste a hard pull until the timing is right and you know for sure that is where you want to live. Now, every buyer's financing is going to be a little bit different, whether it is working on credit or, paying down things and things like that. So we add this step because if you are working on credit or you're curious how much money you might going to need to save, we want the lender who is going to qualify you for the home that you want to be telling you exactly what to do and what not to do to be approved for the home that you want to purchase. Everything that we do is very intentional and strategic to get you to be where you want to be. It's not that when you buy a resale, it's like you're arbitrarily saving for a home or arbitrarily improving your credit. When you work on items to be approved for your financing, it is literally tied to your home. What I love about new construction is that depending on how long it takes or what steps you have to take, you can actually go under contract while you're working on your items. That way, it is literally tied to the home that you want to purchase and nobody else can buy it. It's so beautiful. Now, if there are things for you to work on, we work on those things. If there's nothing for you to work on, then you're going to go to the next step. You're going to pick the home that you want. I want lot 101, 72, whatever home you actually want. You're going to pay your earnest deposit. The earnest deposit is your first exchange of funds. And what that does is that it takes a home off the market and that actually gets credited towards your down payment. Earnest deposit amounts is going to vary by community. Sometimes it's 500, 1,000, 1% on the purchase price, 5,000, whatever it is. But know that that piece of money is important. And that is where we review the contract with you. You sign it and your home is officially off the market. Nobody else can buy it. You are officially buying a home. Now that we go on to the next step. Now your home's off the market. And that is sometimes when it can be a little bit quiet, especially if your home is being built for you from the ground up. There's going to be like a 30, 60, 90-day time period sometimes that's you're just waiting for your home to be built. And that's okay. So we like to encourage buyers that silence is not bad. But then when it comes time for you to begin to submit documents to your lender, we have to ensure that you are responding to all requests promptly. And if they need something, they're going to let you know. If you don't hear anything, it's not a bad thing. That means they're working on it. They don't need anything. And the process is moving along as it should. There are times where you may submit something and it gets lost in the digital world, okay? And you may have to resubmit something. That's okay. We're all human, and as you know, humans do make error. And so if that does happen, we encourage buyers to just, hey, you know what? Let's just resubmit, okay? They're only going to be asking you for things that they need to ensure that you are in the financial position to be able to not only afford this home now, but in the future. So anything they ask you for is for that reason only. And we want to ensure that they have what they need to get you what you want. So it really does become one big team. Now, once you have submitted everything to the lender, you have taken your home off the market, you're going to get a closing date. And I want to encourage you to mark your calendar. But here's the thing, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes closing dates can change. All right. It gives you an idea roundabout of when you're going to close. On your contract, it'll say on or before so and so date. So right now it's March 7th. Let's say it said on or before March 27th. It could be March 27th. It could be the 24th, so on and so forth. The good thing is two things. You know that you're buying a home. And second, they're going to notify you sometimes 5 or more days beforehand. Now, in case you're wondering, could the closing date get pushed back? It could. Why would that happen? There are a number of reasons why that could happen. Not bad reasons. It's just maybe it's construction, materials got delayed, varying reasons why a closing date can be pushed back as well. The best part about it is that you know whether it's early, on time, or a little bit delayed, you are getting the keys to your new home. As we get closer to your closing date, you're going to schedule a home inspection. Now, we don't force our buyers to do that, but we highly, highly, highly recommend that you get a home inspection. We do have partner home inspectors for you to work with. And we always say, even though it's brand new, it is still man-made, which means there could still be some error. We want to be able to catch as much as we can before you purchase so that it can be addressed. The best thing about new construction is that the builder will address it. You don't have to beg, you don't have to ask, you don't have to plead, you don't have to hope. That's why working with a great agent, we're going to forward the inspection report to the builder and they're going to fix it, no questions asked. While that's happening, depending on where your funds are, you want to begin to either make your request from like 401k and those things so that when it becomes time for them to be wired, they're already in your account. It generally will take about 14 days, give or take, where the funds are and the process. But you want to get working on that as well so that everything is ready. You will also know exactly how much you're going to need to wire when you first begin talking to the lender. So new construction, you really do find out a lot in advance, which gives you peace of mind throughout your process. The other thing that happens after your home inspection is you're going to attend your home orientation with your agent, right? Whether it's someone from our team or whoever's working with you. And in that time, you're going to be orientated on your new home. How does this work? How to winterize? Where's this? Why would I do that? What's this do? When should I change my air filter? And also learn about all of your warranties. What's covered? What's not covered? How to use this? How to get the extended warranty and answer all of your questions. They're also going to explain to you how your home's going to settle and what the expectations are. We're also going to walk around and basically nitpick on whatever imperfections we can see with our eyes. They're going to combine any imperfections that we see with the home inspection and put those together so that your home is literally perfect. This is also going to be a chance where you're going to be able to actually meet the builder, exchange contact information if you need it, because in the event that when you move in, something not working right, you have a point person to call and say, hey, the airflow is not flowing right. Hey, so-and-so, this is not functioning properly. You have a direct point of contact to make sure that your new home is the best that it can be and your move-in is smooth and you feel happy. Now, after we have done all of that, okay, you have submitted everything to the lender. We have done the home inspection. We have done your home orientation. Now we're getting really, really close and we should be getting that clear to close. Clear to close is like the final sign off that says, hey, this buyer has financially met all of the requirements for purchasing and they are good to go. Clear to close is a great feeling as a first time home buyer because even though when we have you tour a home, we know you can qualify, but on your end, it's easy to feel like, am I going to qualify? What are they going to say? Do I have the home? Do I not have a home? And we even have buyers who, even though the home will have a sold sign in front of it, because they haven't gotten their clear to close, because they haven't gotten their keys, because they haven't moved in yet, they're like, nope, this is not real. And so this clear to close actually really makes it real and really begins to seal the deal. Now, 28 to 48 hours before closing is when you're going to wire any of those funds to the closing attorney, and you'll have instructions on how to do that. And then if you've done that, that means that your closing day is really close because it is then going to be time to attend your final walkthrough before closing. This is just the last check just to make sure that anything from the inspection report that needed to be addressed actually was addressed. Anything that needed to be addressed, but that we saw visually is actually addressed, and anything that we missed is actually addressed as well. Generally, it happens about an hour or two before closing, but it can also happen the day before closing as well. Now, in the event that you are relocating and you are you're relocating, there are times where we will attend all of these walkthroughs for our buyers on their behalf. That's absolutely an option as well if you're not able to be here in person for those things. And then guess what? You have made it to closing day, and it is time to get your keys, which is a huge milestone. Now, most people don't know that closing day, it is a milestone, it is exciting, but truthfully, it is a ton of paperwork. It's one more chance where you're going to learn a lot and be able to ingest a lot more information. Every milestone along the way, you're going to be learning more and more. And this video is just going to give you a high level view of all of the things that go into, I shouldn't say all, most of the things that go into buying a new construction home. But at this stage, when you get your keys, it is celebration day. There's balloons, there's gifts, and what we have learned to do is ask our buyers, what is your vision for closing day? And do our best to honor that. We have some buyers who are low key, like, I don't need all that. But then we have some who are like, no, we want to record everything. We want the videographer. So I'm sure that you fall somewhere in between that. But truly, it is just a day of gratitude, of celebration, and a milestone that you did it. In case you're wondering, how many steps was that? It is a total of 13 steps, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. Because if you have children, if you have college degrees, if you have a job, if you've been adulting for all these years, you can 100% buy a home and get through these steps just like so many other home buyers that have come before you. So now that you know exactly what it takes to buy a new construction home and that you can buy one as a first-time home buyer, the next step is literally making it happen. That's because just knowing the steps isn't enough. James 2:26 reminds us that faith without works is dead. So if you're believing for a home, let's put that action behind faith and let's take the first step. Schedule a complimentary conversation using the link in the description or the QR code above. And let's see if we're a fit to work together. I'm also going to help you understand your buying power, explore new home options, and start touring the best new communities and incentives based on your needs. At this point, I hope that you are feeling excited. So I only have one thing left to say. Let's get the keys to your new home. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, here's one more for you to check out. Enjoy.